Welcome to online class on Transfer of Property Act. Let us discuss the provisions of Section 67 of the Transfer of Property Act regarding right to foreclosure or sale. You are aware that the right to foreclosure or sale is available to the mortgagee only. This is the right of the mortgagee. When this right is available, when the mortgage money is due for payment and the mortgagor, in spite of demand, in spite of notice, fails to pay the mortgage money, then only this right of foreclosure or right to to sell the property will arise. But always before the redemption suit is filed, once a suit for redemption is filed, then this is not there. This right is not available. Before redemption of the mortgage property, the mortgagee can bring a suit to foreclose the mortgagor. What type of foreclose? Prohibiting the mortgagor that if you not pay the mortgage money, then in future he will be debarred to redeem the mortgage. This is called foreclosure, preventing, closing the mortgageor's right to redeem the mortgage property. This is called this is right to foreclosure. Similarly, in certain mortgages, there is a condition that the mortgage property will be, say for simple mortgage, the mortgage property will be put to sale for realization of the mortgage money. So in such case, a suit may be brought by the mortgagee to sell the suit property. What section 67 says? Right to foreclosure or sale. In the absence of a contract to the contrary, always you mark that in almost all the sections, in the absence of a contract to the contrary, these words are there. Why? Because the parties may, by entering a contract, they may defeat the provision of this section. What it says? In the absence of a contract to the contrary, the mortgagee has, at any time after the mortgage money has become due to him, and before a decree has been made for the redemption of the mortgage property, at any time after the mortgage money is due for payment to him, and before a decree has been passed for redemption of the mortgage property, or the mortgage money has been paid, even before payment of the mortgage money, or deposit of the mortgage money in court, mortgage money has in court a right to obtain from the court a decree. The mortgagee has a right to obtain a decree from the court. What? That the mortgagor shall be absolutely debarred of his right to redeem the property. That the mortgagor will be absolutely debarred from redeeming, exercising his right of redemption of the mortgage property, or a decree that the property be sold, or in certain cases that the property be sold. A suit to obtain a decree that a mortgagor shall be absolutely debarred from redeeming the mortgage property is called a suit for foreclosure. So what is foreclosure? Foreclosure means a suit which is to be brought by the mortgagee claiming relief from the court that the mortgagor will be the mortgage property. Why? Because the mortgagor is not paying the mortgage money in spite of his demand or as per the terms and conditions of the mortgage. So this is called right to foreclosure. If in certain types of mortgage the property may be put to sale, this right is called by the suit for sale. Which case this section 67 is contrary to the provisions of right of redemption. Right of redemption, we find that is, we are in section 60, this is right of redemption. right of redemption, this is available to the mortgagor. That is right to mortgagor to redeem. But 67 gives a right to the mortgagee to bring a suit for foreclosure or sale of the mortgage property. This is called right of foreclosure. What it says? In the absence of a contract to the contrary, if there is no contract between the mortgagor and the mortgagee, contrary to the provisions of section 67, that is, right for foreclosure or sale, then the mortgagee can bring a suit for foreclosure or sale of the mortgage property as the case may be. At any time when the mortgage money is due for payment and before a decree of redemption has been passed or before the money has been this is called this right of foreclosure. This right of foreclosure and this right of suing for sale of the mortgage property. Nothing in this section shall be deemed to authorize any mortgagee other than a mortgagee by conditional sale or a mortgagee under an anomalous mortgage by the terms of which he is entitled to foreclose, to institute a suit for foreclosure or a usurpated mortgagee as such or a mortgagee by conditions as such to institute a suit for sale. So though this right is available, this right of foreclosure available is which case? So far a usurpated mortgagee is concerned, this right is not available. In case of anomalous mortgage, other than only mortgage by conditional sale or mortgage under an anomalous mortgage, this right is available. So to authorize any mortgagee other than a mortgage by conditional sale or mortgagee under anomalous mortgage by the terms of which is entitled to foreclose. So two types of mortgages where this right of foreclosure is available. What is mortgage by conditional sale or mortgage under anomalous mortgage when there is a condition that the mortgagee is entitled for a suit for foreclosure to institute a suit. Or a usurpated mortgage as such or a mortgage by conditions as such to institute a suit for sale. So this is, so far as sale is concerned. So sale, that means when the mortgagee is given to bring a suit for sale, only usurpated mortgage and a mortgage by conditional such, in such case, that is, suit for sale is not made. So now, foreclosure is not made, other mortgages, foreclosure right is not available in only in sale by mortgage under anomalous mortgage by terms of which a foreclosure suit can be brought or mortgage by conditional sale. There only a suit for foreclosure will be brought. But there cannot be a suit for sale in case of a mortgage by conditional sale or an usurpated mortgage. To hold the mortgagee's right as its trustee or legal representative and who may sue for a sale of the properties to institute for foreclosure. If a mortgagor who holds the mortgage right as such trustee or legal representative or legal representatives and who may sue for a sale of the properties to institute a suit for foreclosure. There, if the mortgagor is holding the property as a trustee, is in such case, in the capacity of the mortgagee, he cannot bring a suit for sale, etc. To authorize the mortgagee of a railway, canal or other work in the maintenance of which the public are interested to institute a suit for foreclosure or sale. To authorize the mortgagee of a railway, canal or other work in the maintenance of which the public are interested. Suppose there is a railway project has been mortgaged or a canal or other work that property has been mortgaged. So in such case, the mortgagee cannot bring a suit for foreclosure or sale that is against government in which public are interested. Third is to authorize a person interested in part only of the mortgage money to institute a suit relating only to a corresponding part of the mortgage property, unless the mortgagee have, with the consent of the mortgagor, severed their interest under the mortgage. When there are more than one mortgagee, then one of the mortgagee cannot bring a suit for sale unless there is a severance of interest of that mortgage. So this right is called right to foreclosure or sale. It is a very important provision. Sometimes you skip up the other provisions, this where there is restriction in bringing a suit for foreclosure or for sale. This what is? So far as usufructuary mortgage is concerned and mortgage by conditional sale is concerned, there conditional sale, there a suit for sale cannot be brought. The mortgagee cannot bring or a suit for sale. But similarly, only suit for foreclosure will rise in case of mortgage by conditional sale or anomalous mortgage, where there is a provision that a suit for foreclosure will lie. So similarly, the mortgagee cannot, if a person is a mortgagee, that is of a property of canal, railway or other work, the maintenance of which the public are interested, he cannot bring a suit for foreclosure or sale. Similarly, when the mortgagor is holding the mortgage property as a trustee of the mortgagee or his legal representatives, and they then and who may sue for sale of the property to institute a suit for foreclosure. So here, that cannot authorize. No. So if a part, when one of the mortgagee cannot bring a suit for sale or foreclosure in a part of the property. This is section 67. Now let us go to the provisions of section 67A. Mortgagee when bound to bring one suit on several mortgages. Previously we have discussed the mortgagor can bring a suit for redemption, either separately when there are two or more mortgages to the same mortgage, or simultaneously. But section 67A says, a mortgagee who holds two or more mortgages executed by the same mortgagor in respect of each of which he has a right to obtain the same kind of decree under section 67, and he sues to obtain such decree on any one of the mortgages, shall in the absence of a contract to the contrary be bound to sue on all the mortgages in respect of which the mortgage money has become due. You should mark the difference. Here, this mortgagee cannot bring a suit for sale, etc., unless he brings the suit in respect of other mortgages, in respect of which mortgage money is due for payment, and he has a right to sue for foreclosure or sale. So section 67A, that has been inserted by your amendment in the year that is 1929. What it says? A mortgagee who holds two or more mortgages executed by the same mortgagor, in respect of each of which he has a right to obtain the same kind of decree, that is decree of either foreclosure or sale, as per the provisions of 67, that a person has mortgage on two properties on different times. And if all the two mortgages are due for payment, then he must sue for foreclosure or sale in respect of all the mortgages. But he cannot sue for separately. So this provides, and who sues to obtain such decree on any one of the mortgages shall in the absence of a contract to decree bound to sue all the mortgages in respect of which the mortgage money has become due. So if a same mortgagor and same mortgage, there are 2 to 3 mortgages or 4 or 5 mortgages due for payment. And in such case, the mortgagee has a right to sue for foreclosure or sale in respect of 2 to 3. So in such case, he cannot bring a suit for right for foreclosure to exercise the right of foreclosure in respect to one mortgage, leaving the other mortgage in respect of which he has the right to sue has accrued. Sue for foreclosure or the sale has already accrued to him. So in such case, the mortgagee must sue both bring a suit for foreclosure for both the mortgages. That is section 67. Now, section 68, right to sue for mortgage money. Now, when the mortgagee has the right to sue for the mortgage money. So because section 67 where we discussed section 67 is for bringing a suit for foreclosure or sale. But here, section 68 gives a right to the mortgagee to sue for the mortgage money, only for the mortgage money, not bringing the suit for foreclosure or for suit for sale. What it says? The mortgagee has a right to sue for the mortgage money in the following cases and no others. There is restriction. Only in the following type circumstances, in following cases, the mortgagee can bring a suit for realization of the mortgage money from the mortgagor. First is where the mortgagor binds himself to repay the same. Where? In which type of mortgage? You go through this provision of section 58. What it says? Simple mortgage. Mortgagor personally binds himself to pay the mortgage money with condition that in the event of his failure, the mortgage money will be put to sale for realization of the mortgage money. So here, he personally binds himself. Similarly, mortgage by conditional sale, that he personally binds himself. So here, where the mortgagor binds himself to repay the sale, there the mortgagee can file a suit for realization of the mortgage money. Second, where by any cause other than the wrongful act or default of the mortgagor or mortgagee, because of some cause, other than the act of the mortgagor or the mortgagee, there is destruction to the mortgage property and the value of the mortgage property has diminished, has been lowered. In such case, the mortgage property, the value of the mortgage property is not sufficient to satisfy the debt. In such case, the mortgagee can bring a suit for realization of the mortgage money. What provides? Where by any cause, other than the wrongful act or default of the mortgagor or mortgagee, other than, if due to wrongful act of the mortgagor or mortgagee, the property is destroyed, the value of the property is diminished, then that is different. Then section 68 will not be applicable. When the value of the property mortgage is what? Becomes insufficient, destroyed. Because of destruction, the security is rendered insufficient for the mortgage. Within the meaning of section 66. What provision? Section 66 provides that in case of this mortgage property, the value of the mortgage property must exceed 1/3 of the principal money in case other mortgage, and in case of building, 1/2 of the mortgage property. 1/2 of the value of the mortgage property must exceed 1/2 of the principal money. That is section 66. What is it? A security is insufficient within the meaning of this section unless the value of the mortgage property exceeds by 1/3, or if consisting of building exceeds by 1/2 the amount for the time being due on the mortgage. Suppose the mortgage money is due for payment is 6,000 rupees. If it is a building, then 6,000 by half 3,000. The value of the property must be 9,000. If it falls less than 9,000, then that becomes insufficient. For other property, suppose the mortgage money is 6,000. The value of the property must exceed by 1/3. 1/3 means 2,000. That the value of the property must be within 8,000. If it falls short, then that becomes insufficient. This is section 68. What it says? If due to any act other than the act of the mortgagor or the mortgagee, the mortgage property is destroyed, or there is any destruction or damage to the mortgage property, and the value of the property mortgage becomes insufficient within the meaning of section 66. That means, in case of building, if the value of the property exceeds more than half of the principal money or the mortgage money, then that is sufficient. If it is less, then that becomes insufficient. In case of other property, if the value of the property must exceed 1/3 of the mortgage money. So now, in such case, this mortgagee can bring a suit for sale of the mortgage, for realization of the mortgage money. Third, where the mortgagee is deprived of the whole or part of his security by or in consequence of the wrongful act or default of the mortgagor. Because of wrongful act of the mortgagor, the mortgage is deprived of the security, the property which was given in security, because he was deprived of it. Some of various causes may be there due to wrongful act of the mortgagor. Then, where the mortgagee being entitled to possession of the mortgage property, the mortgagor fails to deliver the same to him. Suppose a usufructuary mortgage is there, the mortgagor did not deliver possession of the mortgage property, or because of some or other the mortgagee could not get the possession of the mortgage property. In such case, he can bring a suit to realize the mortgage money. So this is where the mortgagee being entitled to possession of the mortgage property, the mortgagor fails to deliver the same to him, or to secure the possession thereof to him without disturbance by the mortgagor, or any person claiming under a title superior to that of the mortgagor. Suppose in case of usufructuary mortgage, the mortgagee is entitled to possession. So some other person who has a better title than the mortgagor is claiming that property. And because of him, the mortgage is deprived of to purchase that mortgage. In such case, what the mortgage will do? Mortgagee can bring a suit. Another provision, provided that in the case referred to in clause A. What is clause A? Where the mortgagor binds himself to repay the same. So if a question is put, when the mortgagor can file a suit for realization of the mortgage money, your answer will be with reference to provisions contained in section 68 of the Transfer of Property Act. What it says? The mortgagor has a right to sue for the mortgage money in the following cases and in no others, and on no others. First, when the mortgagor has personally bound himself to pay the mortgage money. Second, when due to any act other than the act of the mortgagor of the mortgagee, the value of the mortgage property became insufficient for the security as per the provision of section 66 of the TPI. Third, where the mortgage is deprived of whole or part of a security in consequence of the wrongful act or default of the mortgagor. Wrongful act or because of any default of mortgagor fault, this he was deprived of the security. Third, then when the mortgagee is entitled for possession of the mortgage property, he did not get the possession because of some better title of other person. Provided that in the case referred to in clause A, transferee from the mortgagor or from his legal representative shall not be liable to be sued for the mortgage money. Though the mortgagee can bring a suit to realize the mortgage money when the mortgagor has personally become bound to pay the mortgage money. But in such case, no such suit will lie against the legal representative or the transferee of the mortgagee. Shall not be liable to be sued for mortgage. Then subsection 2, where a suit is brought under clause A. Clause A means when the mortgage binds himself to repay the same. B of subsection 1, that is when the mortgage property, the value of the mortgage property is insufficient for the security. Then the court may, at its discretion, stay the suit and all proceedings therein, notwithstanding any contract to the contrary, until the mortgagee has exhausted all his available remedies against the mortgage property. That means, suppose the hypothecation is there, or any other remedy, or all other remedy has not been exhausted. If such a suit has been brought, that suit may be stayed. Or what remains of it, unless the mortgagee abandons his security and, if necessary, retransfer the mortgage property. This is a provision. Section 69 is a very important provision. As you know, when the mortgage property may be put to sale, here mortgage property is always put to be sold, will be sold by the order of the court. But Section 69 gives a power to the mortgagee to sell the mortgage property without intervention of the court. without intervention of the court. Here the mortgagee can exercise this power of sale without filing a suit, without the intervention of the court. There are certain circumstances. Which circumstances? Power of sale when valid? If a power is given to the mortgagee to sell the mortgage property without intervention of the court, when it is valid. Section 69 says, a mortgagee or any person acting on his behalf shall, subject to the provision of this section, shall, subject to the mortgagee or any other person acting on his behalf, shall, subject to the provision of section, have power to sell or concur in selling the mortgage property. If it is sold, that is concurrence will be given. Or any part thereof, either sell the mortgage property, concur the sale of, or a part of the property, in default of payment of the mortgage money, without the intervention of the court, in the following cases and in no others, like only in the following cases, the mortgagee has a right to sell the mortgage property for realization of the mortgage money without intervention of the court. First, when it is an English mortgage and the mortgagor nor the mortgagee, neither the mortgagor nor the mortgagee is a Hindu, Mohammedan, Buddhist, or of a member of any other race, sect, tribe or class, from time to time specified in this by the state government in the official gazette. First thing, that means if when it is an English mortgage, then either the mortgagor nor the mortgagee is a Hindu, Mohammedan or Buddhist. If both so that's why if a Englishman is the mortgagor, Englishman is the mortgagee, a Christian man is a mortgagor, and Christian man is a mortgagee, then this power, then the mortgage property can be sold by the mortgagee without intervention of the court. If either the mortgagee or the mortgagor is a Hindu, Buddhist or Mohammedan, then this property cannot be sold without intervention of the court. Second, when the power of sale without the intervention of the court is expressly conferred on the mortgagee, intervention of the court is expressly conferred, is expressly mentioned in the mortgage deed. Government is the mortgage. Somebody mortgages a property to the government. And in the mortgage deed, there is a specific condition that the government can sell the mortgage property without the intervention of the court for realization of the mortgage money. So in such case, the mortgagee, who is the government, can sell the mortgage property without intervention of the court. Third, where a power of sale without the intervention of the court is expressly conferred on the mortgagee by the mortgage deed, and the mortgage property is situated in Calcutta, Bombay, Madras, or in such other town as the state government notifies from time to time. Like mortgage by deposit of title is Calcutta, Bombay, Madras, or such of the town it is created. So here, similarly, if a mortgagee is a mortgage property is situated in Calcutta, Bombay or Madras, and in the document of mortgage, it has been mentioned specifically that the mortgagee can sell the mortgage property without intervention of the court. In such case, such a power is available. What? Where a power of sale without intervention of the court is expressly conferred on the mortgagee by the mortgage deed. In the mortgage deed itself, such a power has been expressly conferred, specifically mentioned, and the mortgage property or any part or either the entire mortgage property or a part of that mortgage property was on the date of execution of the mortgage deed. On which date? On the date of execution of the mortgage deed, situate within the town of Calcutta, Madras or Bombay, or in any other town or area which the state government may be notification in the official gazette specified in this behalf. This is third contingency. Fourth, so this is only three types of cases. No, so this is only three cases. Mortgage property can be sold by the mortgagee without intervention of the court. First, when it is a English mortgage, neither the mortgagor nor the mortgagee is a Hindu, Mohammedan or Buddhist. Then second, when the mortgagee is the government and it has been the power of sale without the intervention clause expressly conferred in the mortgage deed. Third, when power has been conferred to the mortgagee to put this property, to sell the mortgage property without intervention court, and on the date of execution of the mortgage deed, that property was situated within Calcutta, Bombay, Madras, or in such of the town as notified by the state government. Now, subsection 2 puts a restriction. What restriction? Before exercise of this power to sell the property, mortgage property, without the intervention of the court, notice is required. So what it says? No such power shall be exercised unless and until notice in writing requiring payment of the principal money has been served. First thing, before exercise of this right of sale without intervention of the court, the mortgagee must give a notice to the mortgagor or one of several mortgagors when there are more than one mortgagors or one of the mortgagors, and default has been made in payment of the principal money or part thereof for 3 months. After notice, if the principal money is not paid for 3 months, then only the property can be sold. Or some interest under the mortgage amount at least 500 rupees in an arrear and unpaid for 3 months after becoming debt. That is, or that means the interest is due for more than 500 and above. Then third condition, where a sale has been made in professed exercise of a power, when sale is made, the title of the purchaser shall not be impeachable. So once a sale has been made, then the title of the purchaser shall not be questioned on the ground that no case had arisen to authorize such sale. No case has arisen to authorize sale, or that due notice was not given, that the purchaser is not supposed to make any inquiry whether notice had been given, or that the power was authorized improperly or irregularly exercised, the power to sell was improperly or irregularly was exercised. But any person damnified means who has sustained any damage, sustained any loss. But any person who has sustained any loss or damage by an unauthorized or improper or irregular exercise of the power, irregular or exercise of the power of sale, shall have his remedy in damages against the person exercising the power. Who exercise this power? That means the mortgagee who exercise this power. Then any person who is aggrieved, if actually he has sustained any damages, then he can sue for that damages. The money which is received by the mortgagee, if after sale, whatever money is received arising from the sale, after discharge of prior encumbrance, first, that means if the property is sold without intervention of the court, or whatever money is received, that money first will be kept by the mortgagee as the trustee. So first, in the discharge of the prior income, if prior to that mortgage, another mortgage was there, that encumbrance will be first discharged, even to which the sale is not subject, made. Or after payment into court under section 57 of a sum to meet any prior encumbrance. Prior encumbrance was there, that was deposited in court. And shall in the absence of a contract to the contrary, be held by him in trust to be, then that you will hold that property, that to sell money as a trustee of the mortgagor, and out of that money, first in payment of all costs, charges and expenses properly incurred by him as incident to the sale or attempted sale, whatever cost, whatever charge, whatever expense that mortgagee had incurred in selling the property, then that will be first paid for out of that money. First, the money will be paid to the prior encumbrance. The remaining money will be held by the mortgagee as trustee, and out of that money, that first payment will be made towards the cost, expenses or charges for effecting the sale. And secondly, in discharge of the mortgage,
Then thereafter, it will be applied to the for payment of the mortgage money and cost and other money. If any due under the mortgage and the residue, the balance money thereafter of the money so received shall be paid to the person entitled to the mortgage property. The person who was entitled to the mortgage property, if some money is still in balance, that will be paid to that person, or authorized to give receipt for the proceeds of the sale thereof. Nothing in this section or in section 69 applies to powers conferred before the 1st day of July 82. That is no more. Now it has become redundant after lapse of time. So now this is a very important provision. We should remember. Sometime you may get a question: when the mortgagee has right to sell the mortgage property without intervention of the court. Only 3 circumstances, as I discussed. You go through the provision again and again, try to remember, then let us conclude. In the next class, we will discuss the other provisions when before sale the mortgagee can appoint a receiver of the mortgage property. Thank you all.